Oh, there's a viewer here, finally. Thanks, Brendan. I feel really supported now. But subscribe, whoever is here. If you're not, then do that, or you're committing a sin. I just noticed there were 4 people, okay? Okay, don't get angry at me. I just wanted to say one thing. This is my only way of making videos right now. Because my phone ran out of memory. It's amazing, right? What phones can do. I need a video. That's so stupid. But yet I laughed. This is impossible. You know. Anyway, did you know that by 2020, people under the age of 13 are gonna have to get parents' permissions to make videos? That's illegal. What is? This had reference to nobody eats stuff, only food stuff. That didn't clip you. Anyway, I decided what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a do, and I'm gonna play I'm gonna show progress of Evangelion. No, A Cruel Angel Sees This theme song. Steven knows. Brendan might not know as well. Here's my best shot. Wait, no, hold on. Let me restart. That was my best. Oh no. Don't leave. Oh, 2 people have left. Who is still here? Comment if you are. Oh. Oh, 1 person's still here. Don't come in. I'm doing something now. Never mind. Come in. I'm ready for drink. Just don't put it around the computer. I put it around the computer. Who is here? Who is here? If you are you subscribe. And if you aren't commenting, you're probably not subscribed. I am the nicest person next to Yuck. I'm not the nicest person. I'm actually not that nice. The reason I've not been showing my face on camera actually is because I've had acne and I've recently been getting rid of it. It is amazing. Yes. You shall not perish if you keep watching this. Why did I just type welcome? I don't know, but I did. And that's all that matters. Also, I am now sort of a bit of yes. And now I can do Let me rephrase that. I'm really bad at English. Wait. Probably because anyway, the reason I have not been doing videos, don't know why I did that. You know, I just had to. The reason I've not been doing videos is because I've been working on something. Another thing is I've been working. Wait, no, hold on. Another thing is that if you weren't subscribed, subscribe because there's another person that just joined. And another thing is, this is my only way of making videos. I think I already said that. I'm not the smartest alive, okay? Who is making a meteor in their kitchen? Anyway, I've also had school. I've also had, to clean my entire room. I've had a field trip. That was nice. I think you can tell from my last video. If you saw it, it was amazing. Oh, I got too close again. Also, just generally it being it being close to a time, and that's the problem because I was learning a cruel angel thesis for, my mom's birthday present. She already knows that, but, I just punched a Lego. It doesn't hurt as much as stepping on Lego, but I punched a Lego and it just kind of hurts. Anyway. I'm gonna check the Discord, and if you want to help work on a game, you can. I'm gonna type in the Discord tag. I'm gonna need to go get my phone real quick for the Discord server. Join. I will pay people. Yes, I've recently gotten money. It's amazing. I'm gonna go get something. Welcome back to Earth. All right. I'm beginning the Discord tag. This is the most important part. Anyway, yeah, help us work on a video game. I'd like to get sleep. I want to know who else can program. So yes, I've learned a decent amount of programming. It's amazing. Wait, is Brendan JRT the still one here? Still the one here. Okay, I'm getting the Discord tag. What is it? Network's not working. What? Oh. My phone is on airplane mode for some reason. I wasn't going to Tokyo or anything, but I'm planning on doing it soon. I'll do a trip. Yes, I've made it into. Alright, so warning. Our Discord server can be really, 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 really odd sometimes. And sometimes people can be really rude to you. Don't let it faze you. If you are a sensitive one. Let me click hide. I don't want anyone. I just don't want any. Error, try again. There was no error. Okay, so Oh, wait, no. This is the arcade, right? Also, follow me on Twitter. It's SSipple in 2007. I'm pretty boring on Twitter, so don't expect much. I've been getting better on Twitter, though, so there's that. What? Oh, Giovanna Niwa. Niwa. That's all I can read from that. So, I'm just trying to figure out one thing. Who? Alright, another thing that I've been doing is Evangelion. I've been watching that, obviously. Where is it, though? Where is it, too? Where is it, where's 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 it? Yes! Oh, wow. Did I mention that we're making 16-bit game? Yeah. It's pretty... It's just that. Sorry, I'm kind of tired of it, but not too much. So, there's that. Where is it? Oh, no. Although we have put a lot of time and effort into this game, so... I just needed a place to stretch my foot, okay? Come on! Notifications. Notifications. Pinned messages. There are no pinned messages. Ah! Channel settings. Come on! It's not a... Not... No. Use. Alright, so... I'm not the best at Discord. So... Oh, deleted user. Yeah, Discord has been randomly deleting users for some reason. I have no idea why. This is sorry about this taking so long. Okay, just join my Discord and I'll send you an invite to it. It is 4438. That is my Discord tag. Join it if you want to be able to most likely get paid for your work, because we're building a console of video games and a couple more video games. It is amazing. We are happy to do it. Since I actually have money, I actually can pay IOU. So there's that. But this is my only way of making videos. Still, I know I've said that like a million times, but oh wait, you guys want to see the Saturn V? Like, I got to go see it in person. Also, watch most of my videos. We've almost hit 1,000 views. It's amazing. And yet I've been on YouTube for 3 years, And yeah, I'm not picking up traction. Oh no. I'm wasting my life. Also, YouTube is, I may be on YouTube, but I can't criticize it. We all can. But, I mean, good thing I'm gonna turn. How dare you interrupt me? Anyway, with the money I have, I might be able to make better videos. So there's that. And it is good. Hide. No. Wait a minute, let me share this stream so I can. Seriously, I've been on here for 3 years, and yet, I only have. Wait, hold on. Yet, I only. My phone is broken, isn't it? Human. I have to restart my phone. I good thing I'm getting an upgrade on my phone soon. So that's pretty cash money. It's amazing. So I'm gonna share this on Twitter. I can subscribe. Oh, I just read this thing on Twitter. Like and subscribe. Who do you want to follow? Yes. Oh wait, I want my mom's account. What am I doing? Subscribe to this human kanal. Alright, it is shared now. I have read it, I think. But yes. So, subscribe. I am super small on YouTube. I am really insecure, and I'm trying to use YouTube, and I'm not that successful at pretty much anything. So, yes, please subscribe. YouTube is the only thing that I think I can be successful, other than game design. And even that, our game might not even succeed. So we need help. So join my Discord, which is work Discord, or else I will smash your phone. It worked. I don't have to destroy my phone now. Oh right, I remember what I was doing. Follow me on Discord. It's 4438. That's my Discord tag. Search for me on Discord. You'll meet lots of people, and you can help for design and probably get paid. You just have to draw, and that's all. We'll turn it into whatever you want. I'll turn it into whatever you want, and you want to how you will. So make sure to do that. Thank you, Seuss. Embed. Start at. Yes, copy. Okay, goodbye. I oil. Share. Stop doing this. TikTok, TikTok. Evento. Database. All of my YouTube. Analytics. Shoe. Back. And this is really, really, really delayed. That thing that you're in the back is I don't know what it is. It's horrible. I think I became part monster. Let me edit this video. Life control. No. need to use is missing. The beta is specific features. Go to editing is annoying. 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 God. Go. 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 Go, go, go. I'm editing. Oh. So give me a mic. Sendero. Nani? Self. Three. I'm just trying to get in human contact, okay? I'm just trying to get in contact with a human. I'm growing mentally insane. Because I've not been able to do anything. I feel like I'm being treated wrong for what I do. And I've been. I have a lot to do. You know what? Yummy, Garu. Three. Three, 8. There is at and not shift at Sidbon 2007. I was stuck. Fire. Hashtag no. Cancel the amount of comments. This can be ratings for this video. Allow embedding. This contains paid sponsorship or endorsement. No, it does not help me inform viewers of paid promotion by adding it to this video may be required under applicable laws. Video language. Video location. Search. Stay under the YouTube license. This content is never aired on television in the U.S. This content is only aired in the U.S. without captions. This content has not aired on U.S. television with captions. This content does not fall within a category of online programs that require captions under FCC regulation. Embedding? No. Safe? You wanna nada? Yoko no toga to shigo no to. Albemanesa okoto no shishono. Ah, 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 ah. It has 99 notifications. Oh, this PC. Online. Here, pictures. She wanna nada? She become WA2IK. Your tweet has been posted. 100%. What does that mean? Close. Analytics. I didn't post. What was this video? Death payment. And that was just downhill. There, let's go. I'm gaining, I'm losing. Oh, I'm getting more popular. I'm getting it. Yeah. Milliliter. Rip. Oh shit. It's Logan Paul. This gave me nightmares. I'm sorry. My first sud. Where is the love stream? This is comedy at its finest. I am reporting this to Peter. Hi. I worship Chandler. What happened to Kentucky Fried Chicken? Instant regret memes. Instantaneous combustion memes. YouTube piano. What is this?
Click that blue button and get $20 off your toothpaste favorites with ihavent. Each toothpaste palette reminds me of a special memory and flavor of the holidays. Whether it's Halloween and pumpkins, drinks on cold nights by the fireplace, iced sugar cookies, or fresh gingerbread out of the oven, these scented toothpaste palettes keep you plus get $20 off the holidays with the code ihavent. Get one or skip one. Click the blue button to shop now.
Okay, so one D sharp, one D sharp, sharp D, one D sharp. C D F D. Oh, wait, no. That's pretty. How I do this? What Billie Eilish is always said. Xeno. Like Xenomorph? Say, hey guys, is now offensive.
Next time you do this, you could be doing this. How? By using Akoja, the search engine that plants trees.
What's a search engine got to do with trees?
Search engines make a lot of money, enough money to regard for plants. So Christian builds Akoja and uses its profits to do just that, wherever they're needed most. And it's working. They've planted more than 65 million trees across 22 countries. Akoja's tree team worked together with local tree planting partners to make sure Akoja's trees benefit people and nature. So all it takes is more of this, and we can have a lot more of this. Go to akoja.org, get the free browser extension, and download the Akoja app. Start planting trees.
Hey guys, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to misgender everybody watching this video, but today we're going to be taking a look at something that is absolutely ridiculous. There's a new video from the folks over at Now This Opinions, which when you combine those three words and that exact phrasing in that exact order, you pretty much can almost guarantee that it's just going to be some hot sloppy garbage on the timeline, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad, so unfortunately, on my timeline last night, it was getting late. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Your boy was just sitting there enjoying some Dragon Ball Z. And guess what? This shows up out of nowhere. I was not happy about that. I was actually very upset about that because I had to see this for myself. Dude, I was so depressed. What you're about to see, I'm just warning you. It's horrible. It's stupid. It really is, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I forced that one. I really did. I forced that one in there. But you get the point. So apparently saying you guys is like the new worst thing ever to these people. So I'm just going to put it in as much as I can in this video just to upset them. I'm not going to lie. You guys, I'm sorry. I got to keep doing it. You can't say, hey guys, you guys, you got to stop it. You need to learn to stop misgendering. You need to learn to start addressing everybody in the room. You're hurting people's feelings. Be a good person. Stop being bad. Well, anyway, let's take a look at this video and let's get our learning caps on here for a minute and see what's really up, because apparently we've been messing up this whole time here.
Hey guys, welcome back to Now This.
Oh my God! Oh, we're already off course here. Whoa, we're off the road. What's going on here? So the first thing she says is literally, "Hey guys." After the whole video is why you might want to stop using "Hey guys." I wonder why that was. Huh?
Guys is a simple term. It can mean boys, if you're modern, it means people. At first glance, guys being warm, even comedic at times.
Thank you for letting me know what that means. I'm glad that you gave me an explanation. I really needed you to tell me what that word means. I'm really happy about that. See, this is actually really ironic, to me at least, because she just said that, right? She just said that, it means boys, but if you're modern or hip, it means people. But for the next 4.5 minutes of this video, they go on this tirade about why it's the worst thing ever and why you should never use it, because even though in modern context it means people, you're
Graduates, step forward. Colleges are notorious for extra fees. But there's a better way. Okay. At Columbia College, your education is one low price. No fees, no book. Costs, no surprises.
You wanna nada? And then
hindering everybody, and it shouldn't be used as a message to address people. Why is that, though?
But it, like many male default terms, should not be normalized as an all-encompassing phrase, innocent as it may seem. While we may understand the word means no real harm, with a deeper look, you'll understand that we've been ignoring the cognitive impact on women as well as gender non-conforming folks by only explicitly addressing the male-identifying individuals present.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. If you as a woman have ever been offended by the phrase "you guys," to the point that it personally bothers you or it hurts your feelings that somebody didn't say "you guys and girl" or something stupid like that, then maybe you're just not cut out for society, because if you really think people need to bend around that much to conform to you as a person, you got another thing coming when it comes down to how the real world's going to treat you. Sorry, not sorry, but that's just not how the real world works.
The meaning of guys has changed over time. According to the Washington Post, etymologists believe it began in the 17th century with a guy named Guy Fawkes, a participant in the failed 1605 gunpowder plot. He only barely escaped a brutal execution by jumping off a scaffold and breaking his neck. For the next few centuries, those who likened him in fashion, appearance, or intellect were referred to as guys. Eventually, according to the Boston Globe, the term broadened to describe creepy people, then to a generic term for men, and now, some would say, a gender-neutral phrase.
Oh, great. Now we're getting a really horrible history lesson from these people about, I can't say guys, about Guy Fawkes. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do on my beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Awesome. I love how they say, some would say, a gender-neutral phrase, as if almost everyone doesn't use the phrase. I don't think I've ever heard nobody ever use it. Literally almost everyone I've ever met ever, including almost every female I've ever met, has said "you guys," regardless of who they're talking to. I've seen females speak to all female groups and say you guys. So I don't understand like what the big deal is here. Like where I think maybe you're making a bigger deal out of nothing than, what the problem actually is here. Or of course, maybe the 99.9% of people here who actually don't see a problem with this very innocent phrase that you've even admitted there is actually no real harm behind, they're actually the ones who have the problem, and you're the one who, even though you're the only person here seeing the problem, you're the one in the right, and we're all the wrong ones here. Yeah, that's the one that most likely makes the most sense, right?
For decades, we have set a standard of only addressing the men in the room. Of course, we claim it's colloquial, but with our elevated knowledge and inclusive perspective, it just seems lazy, inconsiderate, and a small part of what reinforces the gender hierarchy today. How is one to feel empowered to speak or assert themselves when upon greeting they're misgendered or even ignored in language?
This doesn't even make any sense because you're acting as if like the phrase you guys, like you just admitted earlier, that has become like a gender neutral term according to whatever, you're saying here. You're acting like that's not used to address literally anyone regardless of gender. I can use that to address all women. I can use that, like I can go to a group of 47,000 women in a stadium and be like, hey, what's going on, you guys? And they can all be like, oh, hey, what's going on, Optimus? That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't matter what gender they are. I can still use that phrase to address them regardless. We have this history of using this to only address the men in the room. That's pretty odd that, it's used to address literally everybody.
Please note, you're not a bad feminist if you're comfortable with using the phrase, guys. There are larger issues that we, the feminists, need to combat. Reproductive rights, rape culture, violence against women, LGBTQ rights, and the general reprogramming of most people's minds when it comes to the valuation of women in society.
So you even admit that there are much bigger issues that feminists need to be tackling in society, yet you're just sitting here complaining about the fact that people, even feminists, say, you guys. I think that maybe videos like this are probably why feminists are not taken seriously whatsoever by anybody really except for feminists. The only people I ever see take seriously are feminists. Even women that I know who aren't feminists laugh at feminists because of stuff like this. You'll see these videos pop up and they're just, this is almost like a comedy sketch. It's so poorly made, so poorly thought out. Like you have to be kidding, right? But no, these people are not joke. This is serious. This is not a joke. These people legitimately believe that this is a problem that needs to be addressed in our society. They're not kidding. They really believe that saying you guys is something that must be stopped. And also, let's never use the phrase, we need to be reprogramming people's minds ever again. I don't care what the whole, I don't care what your message is. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, what argument you're using. You could be fighting for the best purpose ever. You could be fighting to defend all puppies on Earth from being saved from the fires of hell. Don't ever say you're going to reprogram people's minds. Ever. That sounds like something the Nazis would have said back during like the Holocaust. We're going to reprogram people's minds and we're going to make them believe in, whatever. Don't ever say something like that. If I was having a face-to-face conversation with somebody about literally any political beliefs and they told me, yeah, well, my political party believes in the general reprogramming of the population's minds to believe in our side of things, I would never talk to that person ever again.
I'm not offended, per se, if someone lumps me in with the guys. I'm sure there's really no malintent. In fact, if you and your friends want to freely address each other, by all means. I just want you to know that you're one small step away from making a more conscious effort to dismantle the patriarchy. Don't believe me? Try walking into a room full of cisgender heterosexual men and triumphantly announce, hey gals, okay girls, thanks sis. I'm sure within 10 minutes, if not seconds, at least one person will correct you.
You say, if you want to actually test this whole thing, go into a room full of, cisgender heterosexual men and say something like, what's up, sis? Well, the funny thing is I've actually done this before. You can go up to a straight guy or anything like that and be like, that's the T, sis. Pretty much any time that ever happens, they will not react in the way that you're acting that they will react. They'll just go, oh, yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean, if you're acting like a group of straight guys have never been in a situation where they've ever, like, even thought about the idea of saying, like, hey, what's going on, girls? Or, hey, what's up, sis? Like, if you've never thought that any straight guy has ever made a joke like that ever, maybe you've never been around a straight person in your life, but yeah, it's happened once or twice before. And shocker, straight people don't often just go, oh man, did you really just call me a girl, bro? Did you really just call me sis, bro? That's not how we react at all, because in reality, 99.9% of us are so comfortable with our sexuality, we really don't care. It's not that big of a deal with us.
So what can you do? Substitute one hey guys with a simple good morning, everyone. Hi, y'all, folks, everybody, scholars, team if you're at work, campers if you're in the forest, bay hi, because it's always appropriate. You can also just find ways to insert people's names and address everyone present. And when in doubt, say nothing at all. Hey.
I don't necessarily have a huge problem with this. I mean, I guess if you want to dodge around people's feelings, you can feel free to substitute these things in and, you know, dodge around their feelings if you think that they'll get offended over the words, hey guys. But if you think that they're a normal human being and you think that two words that are so painless will just, you know, go completely through their radar and won't hurt them at all, yeah, just feel free to be a normal person and say, oh, hey, what's going on, guys? Chances are they're not going to cry or report you to the police or anything because, well, most people don't act that way. But then again, it's 2019, man, and, well, apparently now this felt the need to make this video, so...
I challenge you to take an extra 0.5 seconds to think about what comes out of your mouth before you say it.
No, I challenge you to take an extra 0.5 seconds to think about what comes out of your mouth.
Come in. Dessert. Thank you.
Before you say it, because had you done that...
What?
After that, you need to brush your teeth.
Okay.
Maybe this video would not exist.
Somewhere along the way, hey, you may slip a guy out or two, but thank you in advance for trying. You can say that all of this is silly or too PC, but there are always larger societal implications of language, the way we use it and weaponize it. Face it, the things we do and say matter. So if you do nothing else, repeat after me. I am powerful.
Dude, the way she's making it sound like you're like about to fart after Taco Bell, dude. It's like you might slip one or two out here and there, but, you know, at least you'll be trying. One or two might slip out, you know, maybe take a gas pill in the morning. It's like, relax. She's making it out like this is like a forbidden phrase. And then we end this whole thing off with the whole I am powerful thing. You're so powerful that the phrase, hey guys, can just cripple you to the point that you had to let us know how offensive it was. You know what I'm saying? This is just ridiculous, man. Like, we've just gotten to a ridiculous point. You know, I don't know. The humans are regressing, man. We are regressing as a society. The evidence is clear. We might be, you know, getting better medicine. The technology might be progressing. The population's booming and everything. We're going forward like that. You know, our space technology is doing great. We might have people on Mars in a couple decades, but is it worth it at this point? Look at this and tell me it's worth it. I don't know what else to say, man.
We demand a lot from our eyes every day. I should know. I have chronic dry eye caused by reduced tear production due to inflammation. So I use Restasis. It helps me make more of my own tears with continued use twice a day, every day. It's also what I prescribe to my patients who have this condition.
Restasis helps increase your eye's natural ability to produce tears, which may be reduced by inflammation due to chronic dry eye. Restasis did not increase tear production in patients using anti-inflammatory eye drops or tear duct plugs. To help avoid eye injury and contamination, do not touch the bottle tip to your eye or other surfaces. Wait 15 minutes after use before inserting contact lenses. The most common side effect is a temporary burning sensation.
Ask your eye doctor about Restasis. How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
How does it feel to be the same sex as Sarah Palin? How does it feel to be the same sex as Michelle Bachmann? How does it feel to be the same sex as anybody you disagree with? Why does it even matter whether or not I'm the same gender as somebody else? I mean, I'm also the same gender as Abraham Lincoln Einstein and the guy who introduced chocolate to the Western world. So what are you even getting at with this question? Are you trying to say Donald Trump is bad and Donald Trump is a man, therefore men are bad?
Why do you hate rom-coms? Or do you just feel like you need to hate them?
Everybody likes The Notebook. Everybody likes Beyonce. It's just a fact.
Men hate romantic comedies for the same reason you hate video games with over-sexualized female characters. The men in these movies are always willing to sacrifice their careers, their dreams, even their lives to win the lead female's affection. Now, I don't have any empirical data to back this up, but it seems to me that romantic comedies and romance movies in general cause women to have unrealistic expectations of men and what love should be like, and these become the expectations that men have to live up to, and it's unfair. Feminists like to bitch about poor representation of women in media intended for men because they promote body image issues and shit like that. And I agree to at least an extent, but it's not any better for men when we're expected to be Prince Charming, ready and willing to sacrifice ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, and we're called selfish for daring to have our own desires, or even misogynistic for daring to draw attention to our own problems. These movies appeal to the female fantasy of having a knight in shining armor swear their entire existence to pleasing them, and thus reinforce these notions within their target audience of women like you that you somehow deserve and should expect to have your boyfriends and husbands give them everything that makes them who they are, and basically dehumanize themselves for your pleasure, and devote 100% of their time and energy to you. The fact that some of you watching this are scoffing at what I just said only proves my point. You have fooled yourselves into thinking that I'm somehow the one who's being selfish when I object to the notion that men should be expected to cater to all of your demands for the sake of your perverted, idealistic conception of love. And I have no doubts that some of you will accuse me of being bitter at some ex-girlfriend for saying that, but I'm not, and I will preemptively characterize such an argument as an outcropping of the very mentality that I'm talking about. You expect all of your demands to be catered to, and any man who is unwilling or unable to cater to them must have something wrong with them. Us men are human beings with their own interests and goals, and it's selfish for you to expect us to give all that up for you. But these movies condition you to expect exactly that. And that is why we hate romantic comedies. We don't see anything romantic about them. What we see is the reinforcement of unfair and unreasonable expectations about what we should be doing with our own lives. Also, fuck Beyonce.
Why do you make women sit around and talk about men in movies?
And y'all easily just sit around and talk about boobs for hours.
One, I don't know. Maybe you should be asking the people who write the romantic comedies you like so much, because those are the movies which have women sitting around talking about men. Or better yet, instead of complaining about how writers depict women in their movies, maybe you should try being the change you want to see and write your own damn movie. Then you can make the female characters sit around and talk about whatever you want, like how men are oppressing them, or how men are objectifying them, or how men are such pigs, or how men spread their legs too far apart on the subway, or how men hate romantic comedies. There's nothing stopping you. 2. You're referring to the Bechdel test, which is bullshit. All of the Twilight movies passed the Bechdel test, but I think you'd hesitate to call any of those movies pro-feminist. 3. I don't know a single guy who talks about boobs for hours at a time. I think the only guys who do are medical students learning how to conduct mammograms. You want to know what most of the men I know talk about? Movies, video games, politics, religion, music, sports, cars, boats, technology, work, guns, hunting, places they've been to, people they've met, and so on. The subject of boobs actually rarely ever comes up. Contrary to what you may have been told in your women's studies class, men don't think about sex constantly. If we did, we would never have invented the camera equipment you use to make this video. 4. If anybody is talking about boobs for hours at a time, it's feminists. You're the ones who are always whining about the designs of fictional characters, complaining that Batgirl's tits are too big. In all honesty, the only time I ever even think about a comic book character's tits is when I hear a feminist bring it up. So I think maybe you're projecting.
Why do you automatically assume that you won't like TV or movies that star a female lead?
I don't. In fact, some of my favorite movies and TV shows have female leads. I don't know a single man who has ever scoffed at the notion of watching a movie or a TV show just because it has a female protagonist. However, I have seen feminists scoff at anything with a male lead.
Why are you surprised when women are funny?
I'm probably funnier than you.
I'm not surprised when women are funny. There are plenty of funny women out there. Shoe on Head, Pupinia, Stewart, etc. But I will say that, in general, women are not as funny as men, and I think most women will agree with that statement. I also think there's a reason for this. See, if you understand what humor is and how it works, which I'm guessing you don't because you're feminists, then you know that the things that make people laugh often have their roots in very dark subject matter. To quote the amazing atheist,
These people who are fucking offended by rape jokes don't even understand humor. They think of humor as like a happy thing because humor makes us laugh and laughter makes us happy. But a lot of the times they don't seem to notice that what we're actually laughing at is quite dark and morbid. Like if you actually look at it and examine the jokes and look at the exaggeration and try to figure out the mechanics of how the joke works, why does it work, you're going to find that a lot of jokes have their genesis in pain and suffering. Because laughter is this great transcendent tool we have where we can take something that's bitter and difficult to comprehend or deal with and make it something funny. Like if I take a joke like, how many police officers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just beat the room for being black. You know, that joke has its genesis in some very serious, very dark shit. And that joke is not making light of the fact that people have suffered, or it's not making light of the fact that people, marched in the civil rights movement, or that people are racially discriminated against, or police brutality. It's not making light of any of that. What it's doing is it's taking that pain, and it's taking that dark subject matter, and it's helping us transcend it for a moment and view the absurdity of our circumstance, because that is what humor is supposed to do. Humor at its best takes the elements of the world that are dark and horrible and shows you their absurdity. It shows you the absurdity of the human condition, and that is important.
see, men are socially conditioned to not talk openly and honestly about their feelings, which I will talk more about later, and that's why we cultivate a sense of humor. The only way we can really talk about the things that upset us is if we do it through the filter of comedy. But women have the privilege to not be subject to such social conditioning, and so they don't feel the need to cultivate a sense of humor, and that's why women in general aren't as funny as men. That isn't to say that all men are funny or that all women are unfunny. It's just that in general, men are funnier than women. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Also, no, I rather strongly doubt that you're funnier than me, and it's not because you're a woman. Just judging by how you look and talk, I'm willing to bet that your sense of humor boils down to saying something rude and then following it with just kidding. I mean, I'm not the funniest person in the world, but if you think of yourself as the funny one, you probably lack the objectivity to realize that everybody else in your circle of friends probably thinks of you as the annoying one. Just kidding. Actually, I'm not.
Why do you think that we're obsessed with you when we hook up? 9 times out of 10, I just want you to leave too. I'm busy. I got shit to do.
Probably because you do shit like text us 50 times in the space of 1 hour and slash our tires when we dump you after you accuse us of cheating because you saw our sister's name in our call history. Also, what shit could you possibly have to do? Pluck your eyebrows to the point where they're so unnaturally clean around the edges that they look like they're drawn on? Spend your husband's money on more frumpy sweaters? Buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's and watch Glee? Or write more inane questions for men to answer because you're so lacking in self-awareness that you can't figure out the answers for yourself?
Why can't I sleep with as many people as I want to without being judged? When men do it, they're congratulated.
Go ahead and sleep with as many people as you want. I don't give a shit. And once again, I don't know anybody who would. The only time I would care is if I was dating you, because if you told me you've been with 20 other guys before I met you, I would naturally assume that there was something wrong with you if you've been in so many relationships and had them all fail, not to mention the fact that you're substantially more likely to be carrying an STD. And I think it's perfectly reasonable for a woman to view men who have slept with a lot of other women the same way. Also, who's congratulating men for sleeping around? I don't see any guys walking around with trophies for fucking everyone they've met. It's not like having sex with easy women is some kind of achievement. Furthermore, I would say that most media portrays men who do that as assholes who should be looked at with contempt. I mean, Glenn Quagmire isn't exactly portrayed as a model citizen. By the way, studies have found that the majority of people who slut-shame women are other women. Maybe you should be directing this question at them and not men.
Why do you consider a woman a tease if she doesn't sleep with you after 3 dates, but a slut if she sleeps with you on the first date?
Why do you consider a man a douchebag if he doesn't call you back 3 days after he meets you, but desperate if he calls you the next day?
In what world does no mean yes?
No means no.
I don't know anybody who thinks no means yes. Also, this question seems to be in the spirit of the feminist notion that all men are potential rapists, which simply isn't true. I already talked about this at length in my other video, Teach Men Not to Rape with Stupid Rhetoric. Moving on.
Why do you say that women are too emotional to be leaders?
Maybe if feminists argued with logic and evidence instead of feelings, people wouldn't think that.
then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
I've never heard a man say either. I have heard women say both, though.
Why do you think that just because you're nice to me, I owe you my body?
Why do you think that just because I'm nice to you, that I want your body?
Sometimes I've been walking down the street hysterically crying because my cat was missing, and a man came up and was like, "Hey, what's up? Why are you crying? Can I talk to you?"
But I want to continue this. So when the guy came up to you and asked you how you were doing, did you judge his intention, or do you feel like you?
I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm
Wait.
hysterically crying, holding flyers that say "missing cat."
Wait, what if he was checking how you were doing because you were crying?
No, it was a cat call. It was like a, "Hey, pretty lady, what's going on? You
What
get in
if
my
he was
truck."
trying to be sweet to get into you, like, "Hey, pretty lady, why are you crying?"
That's not
He's
the
not
right time, I
entitled. He's
think.
not entitled to my time, honestly.
If he had not said anything to you, then he's a dick because he's a guy in society who saw a girl crying and didn't do anything.
But it's a different. If he's saying that to get my number, that's different than him coming up and saying, "What's wrong? If I see your cat around, I'll let you know." Like that's a different thing.
How is he gonna know about your cat? He saw a girl crying on the street.
Well, it was just I was hanging up a
So
flyer.
now
Is
I'll
when
know
that
if I ever
happened.
see a girl crying on the street and she's hysterical and she might have just lost her parents and has nobody, I shouldn't go up to her because
She
might think
doesn't
I'm
know
objectifying
you.
her.
She doesn't know you.
But we're humans. We should care about each other.
Of course, but and I think you have to understand what you come off as to women. They don't know you. It's like if a brown bear came up and said hello to you. Like you just have to like.
Why would you ever send an unsolicited dick pic?
I wouldn't. If you didn't give out your phone number to the types of guys you meet in nightclubs, you know, the type of guys who go to such clubs for the specific purpose of meeting women and who read books about how to be a pickup artist, maybe you wouldn't be getting dick pics from them.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
Why do you feel like it's okay to make these misandric videos which paint all men as sexual harassers or rapists, but when somebody treats your son that way, it's not okay?
How does it feel to interrupt me when I'm in the middle of making a point during a meeting?
You make it sound like the only people who have ever interrupted you are men. I smell confirmation bias. Hey, have you ever stopped to think that maybe people interrupt you because they realize you're talking shit and wasting time after only 2 sentences?
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open? I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
Maybe that's because your boobs don't get squished between your arms when you stand normally with your arms down by your sides. A man's balls are literally between his legs, and they do get squished if he puts his legs together. It's not exactly an apt comparison. Furthermore, why do you even care? So you complain about
And around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
Maybe that's because your boobs don't get squished between your arms when you stand normally with your arms down by your sides. A man's balls are literally between his legs, and they do get squished if he puts his legs together. It's not exactly an apt comparison. Furthermore, why do you even care? So you complain about women taking up 2 seats with their bags.
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex, even though we literally birth you like watermelons through like this?
Because physical strength has nothing to do with your ability to give birth. Women are, generally speaking, not as physically strong as men. The average man has about 50% greater upper body strength than the average woman. I'm sorry, but that's just simple biology. There's also the fact that men are, by and large, the ones who go to war and fight and die to protect you. Men are the ones who work the dangerous jobs which make your comfortable lifestyle in the industrialized world possible. And historically, men are also the ones who have gone out into the unforgiving wilderness to kill dangerous animals so ungrateful, entitled women like you can eat. You, as a woman, are substantially less likely to die during your daily activities, and you don't have to worry about being called a deadbeat for not risking life and limb in a factory or field for the benefit of others. Nor do you have to worry about being told you don't have a real job because you work with computers or push pencils in a safe, clean environment. Women work soft, cushy jobs compared to men, and that's why women make up only 7% of workplace fatalities, despite making up 47% of the workforce. That is why you are perceived as the weaker sex. If you don't want people to see you that way, then get out of your comfortable air-conditioned studio and go work on a crappy boat or in a coal mine. You're always complaining about employment discrimination, so go ahead, take the dirty, dangerous jobs and show us all just how strong and tough you are. And look, I don't begrudge women for working jobs that don't put them in danger, and I will freely admit that my job isn't particularly dangerous. But if you're going to sit there and act like women are stronger than men just because you can give birth, something which you have a 0.0002% chance of dying from if you live in the United States, and that's up from 15 years ago, then you can fuck right off. By the way, passing a kidney stone hurts more than giving birth. Any woman who has experienced both will tell you that, and men get them more often, so blow me.
Why is it so bad to show your emotions? It means you're human.
Maybe it's because feminists like you tell us we're misogynists for even daring to complain about our problems. Since you're not a man and you don't have even the slightest inkling of what it's like to be a man, let me spell it out for you. Boys are socially conditioned from the day we learn to talk to not express our feelings. We are brought up constantly being told to man up and that boys don't cry. We don't have the privilege of showing our emotions because if we do, it is seen as a sign of weakness. To put it simply, us men are programmed to believe that our own feelings are invalid, and so we hide them and we lie about them. We are raised to expect that if we tell you our feelings, you will shoot them down. You will tell us we're wrong for feeling the way we do, and even if you don't, we still don't want to tell you our feelings because we know you'll use them against us. You're probably thinking that you don't do that, but you do. You do it all the time and don't even realize it. Ask yourself if you have ever had an argument with one of the men in your life and you told them if you were a real man, if you ever have, then you have done exactly what I'm talking about. See, no woman has ever been told if you are a real woman, you wouldn't feel this way. Women have their feelings cultivated and coddled. You're not only allowed to cry, you're expected to, and when you do, people around you give you sympathy and you are comforted. You are so used to getting sympathy that you feel entitled to it. Men don't have that luxury. A man fully expects to be looked down upon and told that his feelings don't matter if he shows any sign of emotional weakness, even by the people he trusts most, because that's what he has experienced for his entire life. And you wonder why the suicide rate for men is 4 times higher than it is for women. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that the social conditioning of men to not show their emotions is part of the patriarchy, and feminism is fighting to change that. Good. What heroes you are. Let me give you a little golf clap while you take a sip from your fucking male tears mug while sitting in the comfort of your safe space where men aren't allowed.
Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity to me?
See my answer to the previous question. Also, wow, how egocentric are you? You are so certain that the world revolves around you that you believe that when a man is acting like a man that he must be trying to prove something to you? Like he couldn't possibly be acting like a man just because he's, a fucking man? Why are you constantly trying to prove your femininity to me? How about that?
Why the f*** isn't it ladylike to cuss? When do words get gendered?
It's also considered not gentlemanlike to curse. Swearing is generally considered rude regardless of the gender of the person who's doing it. Personally, I don't give a shit if you use profanity, go right the fuck ahead. And when did words get gendered? I guess right around the time the word feminist was invented, which is itself a gendered word. I mean, the invention of feminism is when everything suddenly became gendered. Like when you assert that interrupting people is somehow a uniquely male behavior, or that only women get told not to swear.
Why is it your first instinct to doubt women who have been sexually violated or raped?
Maybe if false rape accusations weren't systemically encouraged by feminism, we wouldn't have a problem. Notice how this question is phrased. To doubt women who have been sexually violated or raped. The more salient question would be, why do you doubt women who claim to have been sexually violated or raped? And the answer is because we have this thing called the presumption of innocence. That means a person who is accused of a crime is innocent until proven guilty. So it's not my first instinct to doubt, it's my moral imperative to doubt until evidence is forthcoming. You wouldn't put somebody in jail just because somebody accused them of murder, nor would you put them in jail just because somebody accused them of theft, nor would you put them in jail because somebody accused them of any other crime. So why should accusations of rape be held to a different standard? This really isn't a difficult concept to understand, and it both baffles me and disturbs me how often I see feminists failing to grasp this. For people who claim to fight for social justice, you really don't understand how justice works, do you? See, a man who is accused of rape will have his life ruined. That's not even only if he is convicted. The mere accusation is enough to cost him his job, his relationships, his education and career prospects, his home, his reputation, and so on. If a woman wants to ruin a man's life, all she has to do is accuse him of raping her, and he will be put through the ringer by law enforcement and the media, and even if he is found not guilty, the damage will have already been done, and the woman who made the false accusation will get away scot-free. Really, it astonishes me that even after what happened at Duke and the University of Virginia that you're still asking this question. Furthermore, feminists have abused the word rape to the point where it's lost all meaning. Everything is rape. It's gotten to the point where if a woman claims she was raped, I have to wonder if she means a guy actually forcibly put his penis in her, or if she had consensual sex and just decided to call it rape when she decided she regretted it the next morning, or if she's merely complaining that a guy looked at her in a way that made her feel uncomfortable. I mean, what even is rape at this point? According to some feminists, it's rape if a man changes positions during sex without forewarning. It's rape if your boyfriend breaks up with you because you cheated on him. It's rape if you overhear somebody calling somebody else a slut.
I got raped when my mother called someone else's daughter a slut.
Really, it's your own damn fault that people are becoming increasingly reluctant to believe rape accusations because you have expanded the definition so broadly that nobody even knows when you're really talking about rape anymore. You did this, you asked for it, and now you have buyer's remorse. Now let me pose a question to you. Why is it your first instinct to doubt when a man says he was sexually violated or raped by a woman?
Why do you assume a woman's angry because she's on her period?
Because women get angry when they're on their period. It's a scientific fact that the hormonal changes a woman experiences during her period cause her to become irritable. This is called premenstrual syndrome, or PMS. However, I don't always assume a woman is angry because she's on her period. If your boyfriend thinks that, maybe it's because you're not being straightforward with him and expecting him to be a mind reader. Maybe you should try telling him why you're angry. Ever thought about that? Ever thought about simply telling him that you're mad that he ate the last Klondike bar or whatever trivial bullshit you're getting your panties in a twist over? Oh, he should be able to just figure it out. Yeah, like you should be able to figure out the answers to these stupid questions you're asking.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising? We can say the same thing about your dick size.
You actually answered the question yourself. We consider it false advertising for the same reason that you think a man who stuffs the crotch of his pants is false advertising. If you cover up all your pimples and scars with makeup, you can't really be surprised when he's taken aback upon discovering that you don't really look the way you did when you first met. I mean, wouldn't you feel like you were lied to if you met a guy who looked well-dressed and drove a nice car, but then you found out he got his clothes at Goodwill and he rented that car with his Burger King salary?
Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about what I can and can't do with my body?
Wasn't it a room full of old white men who decided the Roe v. Wade ruling? You know, women have had the right to vote for almost 100 years now, and polling data has found that women are more likely to vote than men, and yet these old white men keep getting elected. I see a lot of you people supporting Bernie Sanders, even though he looks pretty fucking old and white to me. Go figure. Furthermore, why does it even matter that they're white? Why does the melanin level matter more than the merit of their ideas? Wasn't it Martin Luther King Jr. who once said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character"? For as much as you people like to accuse others of being racist, you sure do judge people based on their race a lot. Oh, but it's not racism when you do it because of power structures or some other mental gymnastics bullshit, right? As if whether or not the prejudice somebody's being subjected to is institutionalized makes any difference to them when it happens. Fuck off. Racism is racism, regardless of who's doing it to whom. Calling it something other than racism doesn't change the fact that it's fucking racism, and the only people who think otherwise are racists like you. This mentality that only certain people can be racist hinges on the categorization of people based on their ethnicity and the ascribing of attributes to them such as privilege based on those racial categories. You have to make judgments based on race to make this argument work. You have to make assumptions and generalizations about their race in order to make those judgments. So you have to be racist to use this argument. How do you not see the problem with this? How do you not see the problem with putting people's race before the merits of their argument and categorizing people into a hierarchy of consideration based on their race? How the fuck do you expect to fight racism with racism and then expect people to take you seriously? Maybe this is the reason why you think that if somebody thinks you're stupid, it must be because you're a woman. You're projecting. You judge other people based on their race and gender, so you assume other people are doing it to you. Well, I've got news for you. I don't think you're stupid because you're a woman. I think you're stupid because you're stupid. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. It's not like they don't also tell me what I can't do with my body. For example, I can't take the palm of my hand and slap some sense into you without being considered assault.
Do you have a coochie?
No.
Why are straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
Why are straight women so obsessed with gay guys? Or better yet, why are women so obsessed with lesbians? According to Pornhub's search data for 2014, the number one thing women searched for was lesbian porn. Proportionately, women look up lesbian porn more than men do.
How does it feel to get kicked in the balls?
How do you think it feels, you dumb bitch?
Do you ever get tired of trying to be manly all the time?
Do you? You're the one who's dressed like a lumberjack. To answer your question, no, not really. It comes naturally to me since I'm, a man. The fact that you're asking this question implies that you sometimes get tired of being feminine, so do you ever get tired of being feminine all the time? Is that why you dress like a lumberjack? Would you like to be a man? Well, you have to pass a test first. Have you mastered the art of manspreading? Have you completed your 40 hours of rape training?
Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
I'm not. You are. What I'm afraid of is gender inequality, which is what feminists are actually pushing for. You want examples? In 2005, Swedish politician and co-founder of feminist initiative Gudrun Schyman proposed what the media called a man tax, which would have raised taxes for men in Sweden, basing it on the idea that all men should be held accountable for all man-on-woman violence. It should be noted that Schyman was convicted of tax evasion in 2004, a year before making this proposal. In 2010, women's group leaders in Israel have unanimously opposed changes to rape laws that would make it possible for women to be convicted of rape. They succeeded, and now women in Israel who commit sex acts on non-consenting adults or children who are not old enough to legally give informed consent are not actually charged with rape, and they're instead charged with lesser crimes. In 2013, Indian feminists successfully pressured the Indian government to rewrite rape laws in such a way that only men could be charged with rape. In 2014, Jessica Valenti published an article in The Guardian advocating paying men less than women. In 2015, York University planned to hold an International Men's Day meant to highlight issues affecting men and boys, such as the high suicide rate, shorter life expectancy, and struggles faced in getting an education. It was canceled after feminist students, staff, and alumni protested and held a petition to ban it, which received almost 200 signatures. To add insult to injury, Holly Baxter wrote a condescending article on independent.co.uk enlightening readers why we don't need an International Men's Day. You can claim the definition of feminism as advocating gender equality all you want, but actions speak louder than words. And it's really hard to believe that the feminist movement is really a movement for equality when you dismiss anyone who brings up men's issues as misogynists. You say all men are rapists. You try to ban men from certain places on college campuses. You actively fight against fathers' rights, undermine the presumption of innocence when it comes to rape accusations, and you deny statistics about male victims of domestic abuse, as well as protest and disrupt conferences about male suicide.
This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like! This is what men's rights look like!
All that said, why are you so afraid of gender equality?
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
In what world does 77 cents equal $1?
In what world does 68 cents equal $1?
How is that fair?
After I finished writing my answers to all these questions, I actually counted them and realized there are only 33 questions instead of 36. I just naturally assumed these 4 questions are actually one and answered them as such, but no. BuzzFeed actually considered this compound question as a bunch of separate questions in order to bolster their count for the deceptive clickbaiting title, like it wasn't bad enough that they're already not even really questions. Anyway, this has been pointed out countless times by countless other people, but the wage gap is bullshit. And when I say it's bullshit, I don't mean that it doesn't exist. I mean it's bullshit because of the way it's presented. The observed wage gap is based on comparing the average income of men to the average income of women without considering any variables. Sometimes when the wage gap is brought up, they add women get paid less for the same jobs, but that's horseshit. Asking women why they get paid less than men is like asking why men are more likely to die in the workplace than women. It's because men and women tend to work different jobs. And just like some jobs are more dangerous than others, some jobs pay more than others. And since men tend to work higher paying jobs, such as those in STEM fields, men tend to make more money. And even when you are comparing men and women working the same jobs, there are things which factor into why men get paid more, such as the fact that men are more likely to work overtime, are more likely to ask for raises or promotions, are less likely to take time off, are more competitive, are more likely to take risks, prioritize earnings more than women, retire at a later age, and all these other things which studies have found. With all this taken into consideration, it's no wonder that men get paid more. Men work more. And really, I hate to point out this obvious bit of common sense, but if companies could actually get away with paying women less, don't you think they would just hire nothing but women to save money? Do you honestly think that corporations are such boys' clubs that giving advantages to men is more important to them than their profits and shareholder interests? Don't be stupid. And no, the fact that there are so few women in STEM fields has nothing to do with discrimination. In fact, surveys have found that there is a 2-to-1 preference for female applicants in STEM fields over equally qualified men. So the reason that there are so few women in STEM fields is because few women are interested in pursuing careers in STEM fields. If you want more women in STEM fields, then maybe you shouldn't have wasted your parents' money on a degree in gender studies. And if you wish to continue pushing this baseless contention that the patriarchy is keeping women out of STEM fields, then explain why the patriarchy isn't stopping women from dominating certain fields such as veterinary medicine, psychology, pharmacology, and biology. Furthermore, which is it, 77 cents to $1 or 68 cents? I've also heard other feminists claim 72 cents. The fact that you can't keep your story straight kind of says something about it. And I'm really struggling to understand why you thought including this discrepancy in your video was a good idea. Maybe you should have let a man proofread it. That was a joke. I know I have to explain it because feminists don't understand jokes, but it was a joke, all right?
Why are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you? That's awesome. More money.
I'm not. But since we're making assumptions, why are you intimidated by my deep, booming, commanding, and sultry baritone voice?
Why are opinionated women seen as bitches?
When opinionated men are seen as bosses.
Opinionated men aren't seen as bosses unless they actually are somebody's boss. Otherwise, they're just called assholes. Unless, of course, their opinions disagree with you. In which case, they're kicked off their campus, banned from speaking at events, and told to stop mansplaining. Maybe that's why opinionated women like you are seen as bitches.
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes that are offensive to women?
Because the jokes and the art meant to be taken seriously.
These people who are fucking offended by rape jokes don't even understand humor.
If that's not a good enough answer, then let me ask you this. Do you speak up when your female friends make jokes that are offensive to men? No? Why not? Oh, because it's empowering, right? Fuck off. So I thought you said you were probably funnier than me. You think of yourself as a funny woman, but you don't want people making jokes that don't cater to your own personal taste? Stop trying to police other people's speech, you empty-headed bimbo.
Why are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
I just love how you boldly assert that I have privilege without backing up that assertion at all, and then proceed to talk down to me in this condescending tone, like it's just so obvious it's such an unassailable argument. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person, by I guess being the same gender as Donald Trump does. To answer your question, it's because I don't have privilege. I really don't, but you do. I defy you to name one, just one, legal privilege that I have, which you don't also have, because I can think of several you have which I don't have. Let me list 10. Women are almost always granted custody of children in a divorce by default unless the man can prove she is unfit to care for them. See Misrepresentation of Gender Bias Committee of Massachusetts Supreme Court by Mark B. Rosenthal. This is despite the fact that children are twice as likely to be abused by their mother than they are by their father, according to page 49 of Child Maltreatment 2013, published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Women have more social safety nets designed for them, which is why they only make up 24% of the homeless population. This is in spite of the fact that 42% of homeless men are employed versus only 27% of homeless women. This is according to page 2 of Who's Homeless, published by the National Coalition for the Homeless, July 2009, and page 1 of Single Males, the Homeless Majority, published by Healing Hands in June 2001. Women get more lenient sentences for equivalent crimes. See Estimating Gender Disparities in Federal Criminal Cases by Sonia B. Starr, 2012. A woman can get a male coworker fired from his job simply by accusing him of sexual harassment even without proving it. It's so easy for a woman to get a man fired out of malice, and it happens so often that men are now starting to avoid women altogether in the workplace, refusing to mentor or help them. Kim Elsesser talks about this in her book Sex in the Office, 2015. In California, a woman can declare a man to be the father of her child and sue him for child support, and it's up to the man to prove that he isn't the father by taking a DNA test, and he only gets 30 days to do so. If he doesn't do it in that time, then a court can declare him responsible for the child, even if he proves he isn't the father later. A woman can sue a sperm donor for child support. A woman who gets pregnant with stolen sperm can sue the man she stole it from for child support. And before you argue that a man should keep it in his pants if he doesn't want to be a father, imagine if you heard a conservative Christian arguing against abortion by saying women should keep their legs together if they don't want to be mothers. I think you would lose your shit. A woman who gets pregnant by raping a man or an underage boy can sue him for child support. See Hermesman versus Sager. A woman can get an abortion in complete disregard for the wishes of the father. She doesn't even have to tell him she's seeking an abortion. A woman can also sue the father for child support if he wants nothing to do with the child. So basically, a woman can opt out of parenthood, but a man cannot. Domestic violence against women is actually taken seriously. Men are always presumed to be the aggressors in domestic violence cases, despite the fact that CDC statistics have found that more than 70% of non-reciprocated domestic violence is perpetuated by women. Even when a man is recognized as being a victim of abuse, he is almost always presumed to be at fault. People ask, what did he do to piss her off? So let me pose a question to you. Why are you so afraid of recognizing your privilege? It doesn't mean you are a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it. Or don't. I already know you won't.
Hey, Dad.
What up, man?
I need your help.
I got you. What do you need, brother?
Number one, Josh got surgery, and he's gonna stay here for about a week.
Oh, did they make him into a real boy?
Anyway, I'm also mentally drained.
What's going on, buddy? How was your trip?
Well, it was amazing. It refreshed me. I actually got sleep. Because guess what I've been doing during the night time?
Lucid dreaming.
No. The very opposite of sleeping. I've been programming a console and a video game.
Well,
I've not gotten that. I've been skipping a night, then getting one sleep for about 6 hours, and sleeping a night, then 24 hours, then sleeping a night. I have not gotten out of the house since the field trip that just ended today.
Since when?
The field trip that just happened today. Also, do you agree that feminism is fucking stupid? You know why women have a bigger population than men? Because men have 7 out of 10 men are abused in relationships. You know how some say childbirth is the most painful thing ever imaginable? I believe giving a kidney stone is more painful than childbirth.
Well, it certainly was for me.
Oh, that's generally how it is for all men.
Well, Nietzsche says that it's actually her kidney stone was worse than having a baby for her too.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Damn, look at the babies.
Anyway.
I thought that was funny, Dan.
Another thing is because the population of men is lower than women, is because men generally tend to commit suicide more than women.
Yeah. But women sure do bitch about it more.
Yeah. Also, but I mean, feminism is really retarded because you know how they strive for gender equality?
Right.
They end up making it worse by making men feel bad about themselves and destroying the rest of humanity. That isn't.
Destroying?
Yes, because they're getting rid of all men because they're making them feel bad about themselves.
Well, you know, the idea of feminism is...
Did you know that if a man gets accused of rape or anything like that, that he can have his house taken away, everything taken away, his wife will leave him, everything will happen like that. You can ruin a man's life by accusing him of something like that.
Yeah, you're right on it, buddy. You know what? I mean, if it comes down to it, you can even be a man and accused of not taking care of your son, and they will take everything away from you that way too, buddy.
Yeah.
Not that you know anything about that.
Well, I mean, I generally don't have the option to go down there.
Well, here's the thing. I know that, bud. No, I'm glad we've been able to see each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, within the next month, I'm going to be having some wheels of some kind. I mean, even if I have to borrow your green machine to drive up there on it, I'm going to do it.
Yay.
Right?
Did you know that? Also, another thing is, did you know that men can get sued for child support if they get a woman pregnant, and that if they regret it after having the child?
Well, here's the thing. You know Brad, right? You know Brad.
Yeah.
Well, how about this business? How about Brad? His wife came to him and she said, "I'm pregnant with your baby." Right? And then he was like, "Oh, we're going to have a baby." And then they just being all, and then guess what happened?
What?
What do you think the absolute proof that it isn't your baby could be?
A test?
Well, I'm talking about immediate, absolute proof.
It's eye color.
What now?
It's eye color.
How about, you're getting warmer. Appearance is part of it. But how about if I said to you, I know that child is not mine, even though it's only 13 seconds old. How would I know?
You would know. Alice taught me this. Hold on.
Because if this white man had a baby with a white woman, then the baby certainly would not be
if this white man had a, then it would not be black.
Yes. And if the baby came out a little bit mocha colored, way more than just like, oh, your baby's a dark skinned white person. Yeah, that happened to Brad.
Mm.
Oh yeah, she was going to hit him for child support for a mixed kid that wasn't his, even though the truth and the word on the street is that Brad's mom is a strong, independent black woman. Because, you know, with a name like Anitra Yvette, you know she's black. You know she is.
Anyway, Dad, also, I have some good news.
Yeah, lay it on me, Jack.
I can buy you a car.
You can buy me a car?
Yes. I have $500,000 now.
Wow.
You know what I got?
Nah, $500,000.
No, you know what I got from it?
What?
That quarter that you have.
That what?
Quarter that you have. You know how it was. You know how you said it was, worth $8,000. It ends up it's from 1769.
Okay.
And it doesn't have "In God We Trust" in it.
Okay.
So I got to sold on eBay for $500,000.
You are pulling my leg. However, 1769 would have been before the colonies had the Declaration of Independence and the Revolution. So that means that it would be colonial money. Now, there is colonial money.
Yes, and it doesn't have the print "In God We Trust" in it either.
No, because that didn't happen on our currency until 1932.
No, it happened in 1874.
Is that right? What happened in 32?
In 32, a war did.
I don't know. I have to look it up. But wait a minute. 1870 what? God We Trust?
1874.
74. Well, it's accurate, and you happen to know that for sure. That means that you know something that I don't know, and that's unacceptable.
Well, I googled it.
But you know it now, right? You probably won't forget it, will you?
No. Why not?
Right?
But,
my hands are full.
But anyway, you know what I offered to do?
What's that?
Can I say something to you? If anyone else is in the room, then I don't want that, because this is just a private thing between me and you.
Okay, hold on, man. Hold on. Is this where you're going to tell me you signed up to be a pimp?
No.
Hold on. Okay, I got you now. Lay it on me. Now tell me the next. You're on private time.
Alright, so since Mr. Adam gave me dating tips, I believe I got a girlfriend finally.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, get out of here. Tell me about it. What happened. What's up?
So, you know how I'm rich now? I'm rich now.
Well, you could be, right. There's no money has exchanged hands, and I got it. Yeah, but I'm listening.
But so I got my crush, and guess what?
You say you got a crush?
I got her what she wanted, and also I've been really nice to her.
Right. Well, that's good. You should be. Right.
I've helped her.
Where'd you get her?
She said she wanted a day bag, one that like a friend of hers had, but in like purple.
Uh-huh.
And I said, sure, that's doable.
Right.
I'm even getting stuff for some other people.
Right. Well, okay. So all right, but let me tell you this. All right. Let me tell you this. It's cool if you go out and you get stuff for people that you love or people that you like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's cool. And let me tell you this right now. If you don't hear anything else I say today, hear this loud and clear, okay?
Okay.
My brother, you cannot expect people, even if they say I love you, if they say I love you after you start buying them and getting them shit, be very suspicious of that, because if they love you and not what you can buy for. You know what I'm saying?
No. They said that they liked me before that.
Right. I'm not saying that they went that way, but I'm saying in the school of life, you need to make sure that you know that right off the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch those motherfuckers because those are gold.
Those are gold
She's
diggers.
a gold digger. She's messing with the brokes. So,
Anyway,
watch out for that.
if I
Well,
do,
that's great.
if I do buy a car for you, how much? What would I have to pay for?
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of car you want. But you know,
Do you want a 4-wheeler?
Do you know the first thing I would want for you to do?
What?
I would want for you to take that money and firstly and stick it in the bank so you can start drawing interest off of it, right?
Yeah.
If you have $500,000, you stick it in a savings account that gives you 5% interest. That means that if you had 10% interest on $500,000, you're going to get $50,000 a year just to live on. But just the interest, 5% interest on $500,000 will get you $25,000, and that's on the low side. You can live off of that. But the other thing I would say is this: buy a house so that you and your sisters and your mom, and maybe even if your dad gets all old and busted, if you buy a house, you've always got a place to live for the family to go, you know?
I'm thinking of doing that. Like a decently large house.
Yeah, about what now?
Like a decently large house.
Oh, yeah. Like maybe the size of Alice's or better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, I also donated some money to cancer research.
Oh, yeah, that's always good to do that kind of stuff.
I also donated to teamtrees.org. Guess what? I donated $10.
Oh, yeah?
Which means I helped the ecosystem just a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? You did that back in before you know, you did that just because you wanted to before, you know?
Yeah, but now, if you donate to teamtrees.org, guess what? $1 equals 1 tree.
Yeah, hell yeah. See, that's the thing. Now, here's something that most people don't realize, but I bet you do, because you're into that kind of thing like I am. People think that trees are the primary oxygen producer.
Oh, no. That is the ocean.
Tell me, what is it?
It is the ocean.
Huh?
The oceans.
The oceans, that's right. Oh, Chuck said, this dick! So, Chuck seems to think that his dick is producing the majority of the oxygen we breathe.
Oh, no. That's just the CO2.
Oh, yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't want to breathe that air because I think it probably smells like nuts. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. And I got to find it if I can see it to you. Guess what I saw?
What?
It was legit. They did some genetic manipulation. You know how bioluminescence things like jellyfish that glow in the dark?
Mm-hmm.
Or like lightning bugs?
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that I have seen it and it's legit for true? That they took the bioluminescent gene out of a jellyfish and put it in the cat. That's fucking glow in the dark cat, dude.
What? That actually exists? I thought that was just a joke.
No, dude, I saw it. There is a glow in the dark fucking bioluminescent cat. Anitra and I saw it. She didn't seem as blown away as I was over it.
Hold on.
But you know what though? How about this?
I said hold on.
Glow in the dark
Please.
glow fish?
I'm talking to my dad. Okay.
And by the way, what you gonna do this weekend, buddy?
I will. I just want to talk to my dad.
Short. Just be nice, okay?
Okay. I'm getting this other yogurt off the floor, dude.